Hi everyone, it's Liz from Crafting with Nani. You see that red live button, that means we're live. If it's not red, that means you're going to be watching a replay, which is just fine. I don't mind that at all. If you can just do the hashtag replay on it, then I can go back and make comments to you and all that good stuff. So I'm just going to try and find myself on my laptop and see if I can find me. There I am. And that way, in case I lose comments, I can see it there. Hi, Tracy. How are you? Thank you for coming in and watching. We're going to work on what we're calling Cindy's feedback journal. Because I made a feedback journal, and then I had to send it somewhere else, and Cindy really wanted it. So we're kind of remaking one, though I started this one using a pleather material that you can get like at hi, thank you for saying hi, but anyways, you can get this pleather like at all of like Hobby Lobbies and all that kind of stuff. When I was in Missouri, my friend's niece Becky gave me a bunch of it, and it's so fun. Hi Linda Martin, thank you for coming in, and I just love it, and it's making a lovely journal cover. So I do have enough to make a few more. Hi, Linda Martin. Hi, Rita. Thank you for coming in. So anyways, I am loving it. I probably will add a little bit of lace, maybe around the edge. I did see that I can go on my sewing machine and add a bit of stitching around the edges, just to keep this from maybe fraying, because it is pleather, it's not real. It has like a felt inside of it. Hi Janet, thank you for coming in. It does fit in my sewing machine because the edges right here is wide enough to get through. So I probably will do that. I just have to reload my sewing machine with maybe like a dark brown color thread. So right now it's got white in there, and I don't want white on the edge. So when I do that, I might add a little bit of lace trim along it. Hi Sandy, thank you for coming in, and Mary, thank you. So I'm going to turn the camera down, and we're going to get started on decorating this really cute journal. So let's get you turned down. Hi Estella, thank you for coming in. All of a sudden I got a frog in my throat. So let's just turn you down, and hopefully we will have comments that I can read on my laptop if I don't knock it on the floor. So I was playing the other day. I saw this on Facebook. It was just a reel. It was really quick, so I kind of just made my own vision of it. And what I did was I took a hole punch, and I punched a hole like about this size, which I think is the 2-inch punch. Yeah, the 2-inch punch. And then you snip one side like this, and then you go around the other side and you snip that. And then I took a smaller punch hole, which is about this size, which is a 1-inch hole, and I put that through my cardstock and in between this. And then what you do is you punch a hole in your cardstock as well, and then you take that and you push it through, and then you put another piece on the top. So it's kind of sandwiched. I don't think I have all the pieces here on my desk to do it, but this gets sandwiched inside and glued to the other piece on the top. And then you're able to do, we're calling it a side swing, and then you can do a side swing and decorate and all the fun stuff. Now when I glue it in, I will only be gluing this little portion right here, so that the bottom card itself will swing as well. So all 4 cards will swing, and if you want to, you can decorate both sides of them. So that's what I made, and I have it right now to where you could use either side. I was contemplating using it this way so it swings out, but since I haven't decorated it yet, we could glue it like right here, and it would swing out this way to the right. Or if I wanted to, I could flip it and do it this way, and it would swing to the left. So I haven't decided where I want to put it yet in the book, but either side will swing out, and we can decorate that. So we're, like I said, we're calling that a side swing, because I didn't see the name on it on Facebook. Like I said, I saw a reel. It was one of those speed up reels that you really don't know. Hi, Jimmy Lou, how are you? Well, isn't that very clever? It was very clever, I thought. Like I said, I have to say I can't take credit for coming up with it. I saw it on a reel. Now I see that I have a hair on my chest, so let me get rid of that. So you're not all staring at that. So let's get busy decorating this really cute book. So I did put in, like I said, we put in a pocket. Last week we sewed in the 2 signatures. And this week we're just going to have fun playing with it. I got flipped. And decorating. So I have a bunch of ephemera and cutouts that I got from Lisa Siegel from Vintage Roots Digital Designs, and I was putting them in my other junk journal, which, like I said, I had to send off. So I still have a bunch of really cute stuff to decorate this one with. And I'm trying to figure out, do I want to cover up this really cute bead bag, or do I want to leave it? So right at the moment, I think we're going to leave this one until I can come up with something that I want to do. Because I love how it says easy open, pull, narrowed, you know, tape. And it is sewed, so it has the beautiful sewed mark through it. And I was asked if I used the strings, and I really have not used the strings, but maybe I should use the strings from them because I do get a lot of them. So we're going to decorate the inside. Hi, Jacqueline. Thank you for coming in. Hi, Carol. How are you? How is everybody's Monday? Hey, Kathy Baker's even here. Hi, Kathy. How are you? And Judy's here. Thank you for coming in. So let's find something really cute to put on here. I like to add my horse, you know, to make this kind of personal. And I printed this on my red dirt paper, which makes it even harder to read, but I was trying to see if maybe I wanted to add my horse to this page, but I do have some writing here which I could cover up. And we do have our cute other little farm animals, the turkeys and the dogs and stuff. It might need a bigger page. So let me trim it down and we'll see if we can get Mr. Johnny Thunderpants in the picture. I hope it's going to turn out lovely. I know it's going to be a product of my love, that's for sure, because I do love making feed bag journals. And I love putting a piece of the ranch in every one of them. So I try my hardest to... when I add or make a journal, especially if I'm making a journal to sell, I try to do my best to put a little piece of the ranch in with each one of them. And I don't always tell a person that it's in there. Sometimes they just have to find it. Hopping over from Bev's page. Oh, I know, I saw you over there. I was hoping nobody would leave her page. It's got to be late over there, though. But thank you for popping in. Ooh, that did not want to cut. This paper is very, very well loved. Let's put it that way. So let me put my glasses on, and I'm just going to trim it with my scissors because that was ripping up. And like I said, it has been in the drawer for a while. I had, even when I printed it from old paper that I a lady gave me a bunch of old paper, a friend of mine, and I was red dirt dyeing the papers that she gave me. so this has my dogs and my horse, our little piggy wiggies, the bull, and the turkeys, a couple of the turkeys in it. So we'll see if we can get, and yes, we are giving the turkeys a pardon this year. They will not be on the table. So let's see, it says, hey, Justin is watching. Hey, Justin, how are you, my friend? So just trying to get all of the critters on. I might lose part of my horse's ear, but that's all right, right? I might lose Mr. Johnny's ear or the cow's feet. It's like, oh, I might have to make it as a pull-out. I could do that, put it sideways and make it as a pull-out. So let's see if we can do that. I do have a page in here that I put in here specifically to pull out. Now I cut so much of it off, but I can do it sideways. There's no reason why you can't turn the book and look at it, right? So we could do that, and then they can just flip the book when she's looking at the page. And that might be fun to do. So let me cut the white off on the bottom of the red dirt, I should say. If I can, it wants to rip. It wants to rip, it wants to rip. Like I said, this is some well-loved paper. Some well-loved paper, but that's okay. We'll put it back together. It'll just look like it was living on the ranch, right? I'm just going to take a little bit of this off the top. And I should have left it on there because that way you could really tell that it was red dirt paper. Well, how is my friend Justin doing? Huh? I miss you already. I miss my Justin already. He's a great guy. He's just as fun in person as he is on Facebook. So it looks like I need to take maybe another smidgen off. So let's go ahead and take it off on the bottom since that's where it's ripped. And I'm gonna just get the bull's nose, but he didn't feel it. He's okay. He didn't feel it. So this is the red Wagyu that my son-in-law raises, and this is our breeder. He's a bull. I think his name is Rufus, but I could be wrong. That might be the other one. One's named Dave and one's Rufus, so I don't know which one that one is. But, hi, Jean. How are you? I can't believe that the Messy Craft Corner and Justin is watching my page. Nothing like putting pressure on a girl. So like I said, I am going to go ahead and put this one on sideways. I think there's nothing wrong with it going sideways. And I am just going to put the glue on this side though. And I have a little bit of art glitter glue on this bottle. And it might actually need, because it is red dirt dyed, it might need a little heavier dose of maybe fabric tack, but we'll see if it'll hold. I did get another glue too, offline. We'll see what we can do. And like I said, I don't mind that it's sideways. I really don't, because there's nothing wrong with having to pick up the book and looking at it like that. You know, what's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that. So now she has a part of the ranch in her journal. And we're just going to go under. Hi, Petro. How are you today? Hi, T's Creation and Design. How are you today? Thank you for coming in. My name is Liz. I live on a ranch in West Texas. And there's 4 generations that live here. And a bunch of animals. And I was planning on cooking these little birds for Thanksgiving, but my little guy the other day when I went in there to feed, he plumed his feathers all up, and he looks so gorgeous. And I said, okay, Tom, that's his name's Tom. I said, you're not getting 8 this year. Because he was doing a dance for me, and oh my gosh, I wish I had my phone with me. I didn't have my phone, so I couldn't take a picture of it. And then I went last night with my phone to see if he'd do it again, and he didn't do it. So, but him and his brother, I have two males and 2 females. And 2 of them are, I think, they're considered blue, but they look kind of a grayish color, and then 2 are black. So this is the picture of the 2 gray ones when they were little babies. But they're all big now. So technically they could go on the table, but like I said, we gave them a pardon this year, so I'm not gonna cook them. I'm not. I don't have it. I don't have it in me. So some of these pictures are actually from Justin as well. I do have some of his printables. You can get Justin's printables. He should come on his page. But I think it's thecraftybrother.com, and you can download, you can buy, he sells them on his page, and you can get printouts from him, or you can get printouts, like I said, I'm using mostly stuff from Lisa Siegel, and I like that. I don't like the white around it, so I'm going to have to trim it, but I think I'm going to use these cute little kind of cute scissors that make like a little edge around it, and we will just make it cute. I'm going to take my time on the book so it's not rushed. And I will be live again tomorrow. I'm going to do the Journaling Jamboree, and it's Home for the Holidays event. And I am on at 5 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Eastern time. That's my time slot for that event. So I hope everybody will come back and watch tomorrow as well. So that's cute. I like that, how it turned out. And can everybody see? I hope so. Hi, Janet. How are you? Came up on it. So I am going to distress this a little bit. And I think I'm going to use, I've been using Vintage Photo a lot, but I have a walnut stain. I'm going to try that and see if I like it a little bit better. And usually with my browns, I use the same brush. To me, it doesn't really matter. I guess if it was a really light brown, I might get a new brush. But for the most part, if it's a brown color, I just use the same brush. So I'm just going to kind of go around and distress the sides. I did not cut the bottom. What was that all about? Some of you guys are yelling at me saying, do the bottom, do the bottom, do the bottom of the page. Oh, well. Must have been where I was holding it. So, and then I'm going to kind of just softly put a little bit of color on this very white page. And then we will put this in here like that. And I'm not, this book is going to be, as you can see, it's already a chubby, and I'm not going to make this a pocket. I could make it a tuck. I could make it a pocket. I could, make it a 3-way tuck and have it a tuck. Could put it down here and, make it a tuck. But I think I just want to, right off the bat, I want her to know that this is, a cattle ranch. And, of course, our cattle doesn't look like this, but ours, we do have some brown cows, and we have some blonde cows, but we have red cows and we have black ones. But we don't have any, I believe they look like, I don't know, I don't think they're Jerseys. They do look like beef cattle. You can really tell the difference between a beef cattle and a milking cow, really by looking at them. Milkers really look like they are starving to death. They are not, because all of their fat goes to the milk and the, you know, what we take out of them. But they really don't look like beefy cows. They look very, when you look at them, they look thin, but they're, you know, they're not underweight. They're just, all of their fat goes to the milk. So, and a beef cow, I mean, we got a girl out there that looks like a truck. I told my son-in-law a couple of weeks ago, I said, man, she looks like she's pregnant with twins. And he says, I don't even know if she's pregnant. So she is huge. I mean, she's like, she looks like she is like Fort Knox, man. She is big. So now I gotta find something cute to put on this. And I think this picture came from Elisa Ahmad. But I'm not sure if that goes on this page, so we're not gonna put that there. I do love, this came from the Crafty Brother. This is one of my favorite pictures of all time. I do put this guy and this donkey in almost every journal I make that has anything to do with ranch. And once again, I need to shrink him down. But he is gorgeous. So I think what I'm going to try and do is to see if I can fold. I might should have done this off camera, right? And let's see if we can fold and tuck and get it to fold up into itself. Making sure my folds are straight. I have a plan. I really do. It might not look like it, but I do have a plan. Why is this thing being a brat, too? I do want to cut the white off. I do not like white on pictures. I do not. Now, hopefully it's going to be good and work for me. Well, I think it's time to trade my blade out. I do think it's time to trade my blade. I don't know why it's getting stuck right there. So let's get a pair of tweezers. Somewhere I have tweezers. This will work. And I'm just going to go down here. Something in there is causing it to not want to play right. This is a fairly new blade. So let's see if that helped. Like I said, I'm going to try not to rush through this. It's still there. I don't know. I just ripped the whole page. Okay, it's time to trim this baby up. Well, Justin's page is going to get trimmed this way. That's okay. It'll be cute. I really try not to let anything cause me to have a tizzy when I'm crafting. It's just crafting. It's not like I'm doing surgery. It's not like I'm, you know, it's not a matter of life or death situation, which for 10 years I was working as a respiratory therapist, and it was life or death job, and extremely stressful. And I am enjoying being retired from that. I loved the job while I did it. And I kind of, when I retired, I said, we're not doing anything that stressful again in our life. So I'm trying very hard to keep that promise to myself. And I love living on the ranch, so I have no other place I'd rather be than on this ranch. I hope the Lord keeps me here for a long time. So what I want to do is I want to glue this one corner down and then fold this up. We can get it folded up fairly even. And then we'll do this. And that way she can open it up and have this picture come out. And I think that'll be cute. And then that way I don't have to get rid of this beautiful guy that Justin made. Hi Lori, how are you? Hi Denise, how are you doing today? It says Jimmy Lou is watching. No, well, it says the Messy Crafter's watching. So I kind of like that. I really do. And I think we'll just distress a little bit around the edges of it. And just in case you can see any of the white where I did the trimming. And I guess I'm going to have to take a minute and replace my blade. But I'm really not doing a whole bunch of cutting. So let's place this. We can actually make it a pocket on top of that. I think it will hold. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep my thumb on here because I'm dyslexic. And I'm only going to put glue on it. And we're going to try Jimmy Lou's glue. She gave us a bottle of this glue at the retreat we went to. So I'm just going to put a nice little hefty amount right here. Just enough to make it like a pocket. And only on this corner. And, whoops, I don't want my straight line. I can't make a straight line. So let's find a good spot for that. And that's a good spot. So now this is a pocket as well. If we let it sit long enough to glue itself down. Oh, Justin, I use your papers all the time, buddy. All the time. Especially the ones that are like the ranch style, with the horses and the, there's another guy, you have a picture, I think it's in here. I think it's in my stack. It might not be, I might have already used it. I'm gonna have to print it out again. I used the guy that's sitting on the, he's sitting on the front porch in his rocking chair. I probably put that guy in almost every journal, but I didn't reprint it. I'm gonna have to reprint it. So, but I love that guy. He's smoking his corn pipe and he's sitting on a rocking chair on the porch. So I love him. So we're just going to kind of clean that up a little bit. Maybe I'll do it with a little bit of distress. We'll distress this side a little bit so it's not so white and stark. And we can actually have fun and decorate each portion of these three corners. So I can put, that one won't fit. We got to find the most perfect pieces, right? That's the only problem, is finding the perfect pieces that'll fit. None of these ones are cut the right direction. So let me see what I have in my stash. So I do have these girls. And these are from Lisa Siegel. And they're really cute. So let's see if I can cut them out. And we can put one of these girls on each one. Let me cover my glue cap so we don't have a plug. Justin's the one that told me, Liz, you can go live. I'm like, you're nuts. So you guys gotta blame Justin for that. And then Jimmy Lou has been my mentor on this page. And she's like, you can do it, girl, you can do it. And I'm like, you guys are all nuts. But I'm doing it. This page is almost a year old. My other page was a couple year old, but I closed that one down because I didn't make the page correct. So this is starting anew. And we're up to 760 followers, which is crazy for me. And being that it's not even a year old yet. My other page had 5,000, but I don't believe that they were all real, you know. And if they're not real, they shouldn't really count as real. But I know all of these ones are real. And I appreciate that. And, so if you guys can kick out the cow patties, that really helps my page grow a lot. And this ranch has got so many cow patties that there's enough for all of us. And we can all have cow patties. Hi, Ann. How are you? I love watching you. I get on there and I watch Ann every Saturday morning. Have my coffee with her. She does some absolutely amazing journal work. So since I made a shadow of her, I'm going to go ahead and put her on that shadow. So I made 2 shadows of her. So let's just decorate her up. Hi, Tracy. How are you? Hi, Jill. How are you today? Are you off work already? I love being off on Mondays. I still need to go play in the mud. I am dyeing some new lace that I got when I was with Justin. And we're going to have a lace sale on Thursday morning at 10 Central Time. And you guys can see all the fun stuff that Justin took us to when we met up at his house and had a great time. So now we have a picture here. We can put a picture here. It's amazing on how you can decorate one piece of paper. When you fold it, you can decorate it with so much. And it amazes me. Like 90% of the paper that is inside of here is from the feed bag. One feed bag. And it made all of this picture. Now, I do have a little bit of my own paper that I put in, of the red dirt paper, and I do have a couple of prints that I believe came from Lisa. And, you know, like I have a couple of bags from my pharmacy because I love how cute they are. And so let's put her here. And let's just dress her out a little bit. Just because these, I think they're called bubble, or they're like stickers, but they're not, you know, because they're paper. But they have that white bubble trim around them. So, and if you don't do it that way, you cut off their hair. So I'm just going to leave it like that. And we can go ahead and distress this paper a little bit more. And we'll put some glue on it. Hi, Carol. How are you? You like the prints? Yes. They're a collection of prints from 3 different people. So, but Justin, I don't know if your prints are still $1 a piece or not. You'll have to say. I don't know if you've gone up on pricing or not. I'm in his group, so I don't have to pay. But I think his printables are $1 a piece. He has amazing printables. So we have those 2 girls. So now if we go up, we have to find one more for here. And I like her. Let me just trim her out. Like I said, I am not going to trying to slow myself down. Sometimes I feel like I get on here and it's the hour goes screaming by because I like to keep my lives close to an hour. So when I put them on the tube, it doesn't take forever to get them over there. And but sometimes I feel like I'm rushing through making it, and I'm not enjoying. Well, I am enjoying, but I could enjoy it more if I just slowed myself down a little bit and took a little bit more time in decorating and not having to decorate so fast that I can't think, you know, like if I wanted to change it up. But today I had to go get hay and horse feed and all the ranch stuff, and then when I'm done I got to go do the chickens. And hopefully my turkeys, or our turkeys, they're not just mine, they're all of ours. But hopefully they'll I think it's called pluming. I'm not sure if that's the right word, when they fluff up their feathers and plume for you. But he was gorgeous, and if I can get a picture of him, I'm gonna put it in this book because he looked just like one of those turkeys you see when you go to the zoo or something, or go to a feeding, like when you go to a petting zoo or something. And he actually let me give him a hug, and they're all good birds. They're all good birds. So we're gonna put her right there. And so now we have this cute page, and I might even put a little bit of lace around it. I'll have to see. So she can open this up, and then she has a neat picture on the inside and pictures on the outside. So I like that. Hi Maggie, how are you? Hi Barb. I need to check out his prints. Yes, you do. It's thecraftybrother.com. Right, Justin? I think that's right. thecraftybrother.com. And then if you join his group, his private group, I think you get unlimited copies. So she could fold it that way. It won't matter what way she folds that. So that's cool. I like that. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and distress a little bit around the bag, just as it doesn't look like it's a new bag. It did have horse food in it at one time. But see, all of these bags, all of this didn't, obviously, but all of this came from a feed bag. And then this was from my drugstore. This is the paper I dye. This is just some mullein paper I put in. Even this was from a feed bag. And then we have our doily that I dyed. And then we have our inside. And then I love when I can fold them in and out kind of deal. So, I mean, you get so much paper from one feed bag, and it kept it from going to a trash can or a burn pile. And another thing I use these for is when it's muddy out, I put them in front of my door, and they absorb the water so quickly. Unlimited free prints, yeah. So go over to Justin and get yourself set up. Aw, he's such a sweetie. How did your dinner turn out? Was it tasty? He was on making dinners yesterday. So since we're still working with this page with this girl, I really like her. So I think I'm going to put her off to the side, and we'll put some really pretty lace down this page. And so I'm just going to fussy cut her, and I'm going to do it a little tighter, but I won't give her a haircut. But like I said, these ones came from Lisa Siegel. They're not on her page yet, that I believe. She's really neat about, I asked her to make me this set, and she did. And usually when I'm finished with the journal, she will open it up to everybody. I don't know if she's opened it yet or what she's going to name it until I see it, on it. But Lisa Siegel at the Vintage Digital Roots will pretty much make you any kind of printable that you need, if you need one. And I'm sure Justin would too if you messaged him and asked. But Justin does make all kinds of, he has all kinds of medium, because he does iron-ons and transfers and decoupage paper, kind of like rice paper, not just on regular paper. So, but I don't know if he's ever made like a total. I haven't got him into the journaling part, so I don't think he does like a whole set of printables like this. But who knows? Maybe he will now. Maybe he'll make Liz a printable so she can make something. Hint, hint. No. So she's going to go gorgeous right here. And then we're going to make her even more gorgeous by putting down I don't know if this is going to be long enough. Oh, it is. So we can put this down. Can you see? Am I off camera? So this is just some muslin that was hand dyed from Jimmy Lou. I got it from the retreat. And we can put that down. I'm just kind of, right now, I'm just seeing what I want to use before we glue. It's not in stone until you glue it down, and then actually you can rip it off if you need to. So that might be pretty layered. I like layered look. I also like it when my lace is off the side and you can take advantage of it from both sides. I like that a lot. So I kind of like this double layer, and we might even see if we can come up with a third layer of something. I do have this black, and it's got these little tiny knots that look like little roses. So we might even run that down through. I don't know about that because it takes away from the roses from that. So let's get these two layers on, and then we'll see if it needs a third layer. So I'm just going to trim this off here so I don't have to work with this whole giant. And now we're going to switch over to fabric tack because we're using fabric. And so I'm just going to put some glue down, and I'm trying not to go in those little holes because I don't want it to go to the page next door. Like I said, this bag was sewed on a, well, I'm sure they use a professional sewing machine. I've never really been to the feed bag store that makes the feed bags, so, but I've been fortunate enough to get a couple of feed bags that have never been sewed shut. And those were kind of neat. So we have that on there. And like I said, I love that we can see it from the other side. I don't mind if it's hangs over a little bit at all. And these scissors don't want to cut this fabric because they're paper scissors. So now let's put this one on. And this is not dyed by me. It's just some off-color vintage lace. So I didn't dye that one. Sometimes I do. Hi, Elaine. How are you? My friend. I loved hanging out with Elaine and all those guys. It was a blast. I'm telling you, I had so much fun in Virginia. It was an amazing trip. An amazing trip. And, so we're just going to pop that on there. We didn't glue her down yet because we don't know if we want to tuck her over. See, I kind of like her on the side. And then Cindy can do some journaling over on this side. So, and then we could actually make her a tuck. That looks like it would be a plan. So I think I will see if I can scoot her into there. Nope, she needs to be on the outside of it. See, we're still just playing. We haven't glued her down yet. But I think she looks better over here than she did over there. So I'm going to put her over here. This big white spot right there is just getting me. Because once you see like a spot, then your eye always goes to it and you can't get it to not go to it. So I like her there. And like I said, that way she can journal on this side if she wants to. So that's our plan. So let's go ahead and we'll make her a tuck. And I am going to use fabric tack because she is going to go over fabric for the most part. So I'm going to put this right here and then just down on the bottom. And with this being feed bag paper, it can take that fabric tack. So let's put her there. And now she's a tuck as well. So you kind of slip it behind that lace if you want to. So that's a score. Win-win. So it's just going to tuck her down. And so far, 44 minutes, we've gotten 3 pages done. Sounds like a great plan to you. I'm good. I am good. I have been doing ranch work all morning. I had to take my truck in, and my grandson drove my truck a little bit to keep the battery good while I was on vacation. And boy, he did not leave me very much gas. So I'm going to make this a pocket, and I'm just going to go ahead and trim a little bit. I don't want to use my trimmer. Once this live is over, I'm going to put a new blade in it. But nobody wants to watch me put a new blade in. And I did order, and it should be here today, a new glass top for this table. This is my table I'm using. My desk is my grandmother and my great aunt's cedar chest that they had as a child, and it was turned into a table. And everybody's missing the beautiful cedar that it is. So I bought a glass tabletop to put over the top of it, and it's supposed to be delivered today. So hopefully tomorrow, when I do my live tomorrow, everybody will be able to see this beautiful table. So let's make this a pocket, and let's go ahead and round the corners a little bit. Let's see if we can round them. Sometimes my rounders don't work. Sometimes when you buy from Temu, you get what you deserve. Sometimes you get some good stuff. Sometimes it's just a matter of the paper doesn't want to go with it or whatever. I don't know. Sometimes these punches are just like, that one went real good, and that one went real good, and that one went real good. I don't know what happened to the other side. It finally decided it didn't want me to talk bad about it anymore. Now that I did that. So let's make this into a pocket. And I love the old Western bars, saloons as they're called. Hi Debbie, how are you? A glass, I know, I can't wait, because I love to do painting as well. And I'm always afraid that I'm going to get paint all over. This is my grandma's tablecloth too. I'm very sentimental to my grandma's stuff and my aunt's stuff for some reason. I'm just a very sentimental girl, I guess. And I don't want to ruin my grandma's tablecloth, even though I know I have already. I know I got some spots that probably will not come out in the washer. But that's okay. She'll be all right with it. I don't think she'll punish me when she sees me again. She was a good one for a switch, though. My grandma could switch you pretty good. She was from Arkansas, and she could. She was a tough cookie. She was smart, though. She wouldn't chase you. She'd be like, she would like go after you for a minute if you were doing something really wrong, and then she would just stop. And you'd think, I got away with it. And then you'd be walking around the corner and whop! And she goes, you know what that was for. I go, okay. So it's like, grandmas are fun. I don't know. If I did that with my grandkids, they probably never come over again. But trying to see if this page needs lace. And I don't think it does. We might put some lace on this side. And then that way it'll come out the edge. So this is some more vintage lace that was given to me. And so we're not going to put that on there right now. We're just going to call that a pocket. And we can, somewhere I have some cards. We can just put this in there for right now. And we'll see if we have time to do this one last page. Hi Cruz, how are you? It says Elaine's watching, Elaine's watching. I know, I can't wait for the glass. I'm like, I hope it gets here. I mean, it's coming from Amazon, so hopefully it's packaged well enough that it's not going to come in 8 pieces. So here's another picture of the saloon. And this one, I do like these 2 girls that are, I think you could cut it in half if you wanted to. And maybe that's what we'll do. We'll cut it in half, and I'll put half the girl on that side and then half of the girl on this side. So let me go ahead and just kind of fussy cut this out a little bit. And we will put these ladies in. And I will probably sneak a couple more pictures of the ranch in. And hopefully I can talk all these famous people to come out to Texas someday. Since I drove I think it was 3,553 miles on my trip in 14 states plus Washington, D.C. that I drove through. That was a lot of driving, 14 days. It's like a state a day. But it was fun. I never, ever felt unsafe, and I just had a blast. And you guys are probably so tired of hearing me talk about my trip. It was fun. Okay, so we like her there. She'll be facing out. And then if I put her, she'll be facing out. So let's do that. You laughing at me. Hi, Stacy. How are you? Stacy was at the retreat. It was fun. She used a switch too? Yeah. My grandma was like, go get me that switch. And I'm like, what's a switch? And then you get smacked again because she asked her what a switch was. We had an orange tree in the backyard. Ever been switched by an orange tree branch? Woo, telling you, those are tough. Of course, they're a lot better than, if somebody said to go get a switch out here, we have mesquite trees and they're sharp. So nobody would want to get switched by a mesquite tree, that's for sure. But I don't even think kids get spanked anymore. I don't know. I remember, this will probably get me kicked off of Facebook, but I remember when I had my kids, it was in the 70s, and you could still spank your kids in the 70s. And then somehow in the 80s, when they got teenager years, they're like, we'll call the cops on you if you spank us. And I said, well, you go right ahead and call them. I'll pack your suitcase. Like that. But I'm like, when did they decide that they were like above being disciplined, you know? It's like, go ahead. You call them. You're the one that's going to go away, not me. So I never like played into it. I'm just like, no way. And then, you know, the best thing we ever did? My husband he did it. I can't take credit for it really. But do you remember the product, the Club? It's like a device. I think they still make it maybe. But it's a device you put on the steering wheel. It's like bright red, and then it has this bar, and it has like a hook that comes off the end of it, and it has a lock with a key, and you put it on the steering wheel. And once it's on that steering wheel, you cannot drive that car. You can go backwards and you can go forwards, but you can't turn. So, my husband, when my daughter would get in trouble and get like on restriction or something, he would put that lock that it was called the, what did I just say it was called? Oh my gosh. It just went away from my head. But he would put that thing on her car faster than the Club. It was called the Club. He put that Club on, and I think we still have it. But yeah, it's a great tool when you don't want your kids to drive, because all you got to do is put it on there, and they're not going nowhere. So we have those 2 pages done, and this is a tattered pocket, but it is a pocket. And we have that cute paper, so we need to decorate this page. What are we going to put on her? I see a horse's tiny over here, so that'll be cute. So let's be smart and do the corners first. This one. I always seem to do my corners after the fact, and then I have to distress it again. Oops, didn't want to play right. Didn't want to play right. But at least it gives, when it doesn't do it, at least it gives you, you know, where it's supposed to go. I know it. Somebody said you can sharpen them by doing foil. This one's got a little bit of white trim right there, so let me take that off. And this horse looks just like my horse, except for, well, I don't know, you can't see his face, so. But this horse looks just like my Johnny Thunderpants. So now we'll just stress the edges. And we can notch, see, I should have notched it first. Where's my notcher? Here's a little notcher, so it'll look like a pocket. And we'll just stress that. And here goes Mr. Johnny Thunderpants. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. I don't know if everybody knows how my horse got his name, but if you want to know, I will tell you again. I'm looking for my hand, not here. But my horse, when I was a kid, I had an imaginary horse named Johnny. Your son had a club? Yeah, they're good. They are good. You cannot, like I said, you cannot drive your car with the club on it. Because it won't go past the seat. You'd have to take the seat out if you wanted to drive it. And then most of the time it would hit the windshield too if you tried to go the other way. But anyways, back to my horse. When I was a little girl, I had an imaginary horse. And his name was Johnny. And I took him everywhere. He had to go on all the vacations with us. He had to go everywhere I went. Johnny went with me. And he was such a good horse. He was such a good horse. He did everything. And I have this paper that we got at the retreat. It's kind of like leaves, but it's made out of paper. So I'm thinking about putting that on the bottom so it looks like he's going to be chomping on some grass. But anyway, so when I finally got my horse, I got him from my girlfriend's daughter, and his name was Thunderpants. So I had to keep Thunderpants, but his name is Johnny now. So now we call him Johnny Thunderpants. And when they talk about him, they still refer to him as Thunderpants, and I go, who? And then I have to remember, oh yeah, Johnny Thunderpants, that's right. But he's a Mustang. And I love him to death. And he's getting old. He's like 22 years old now, I think. But he's a Mustang mix, so he's not tattooed. And I'm not sure if his mother was Mustang or his father. Because she bought him as a baby. She traded a racehorse for him. And then she ended up starting to have babies, and I ended up with her horse now. So they were teaching that in school. So I love that, even though it kind of looks like probably a leaf he shouldn't eat, but who cares? Most horses know what they can and can't eat. So let's see, we have 2 minutes, so I'm just going to bring you guys back up and say my goodbyes and my thank yous and all of that good stuff. And like I said, I have this beautiful pleather cover that we made, and like I will probably take it to the sewing machine and put a stitch around it, or I was thinking of adding a little bit of lace. I have this that I hand dyed, And I actually think it would be really cute to go around the edge. And so I might add this lace to the top of it and sew it in with the sewing machine. So I haven't decided that totally. And we can try and do that live if you guys want to see me do that. It probably will stress me out, but we can do it. I don't mind getting stressed a little bit. So it has enough room to go through my sewing machine if I'm smart. And I did leave enough room on both sides to where I can flip it through my sewing machine. And since it's pleather, I don't know who said it, but somebody said that it might peel itself over the years. So we don't want that to happen. So I'm thinking an edge might be what we need to do. And then I do have enough of this material to make a clasp for it, or to wrap it around like a leather band. So anyways, we'll work again on this hopefully on Friday on my live. And like I said, tomorrow I'll be on at 5 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Eastern for the Junk Journaling Jamborees event, and it's home for the holidays. So we already started it, so this is our second month doing it. And so I don't have to build the signatures or anything. It's already there, so it'll be just like this decorating. You love that emboss. It is beautiful. I know that the sun is glaring, but it has beautiful flowers in it, and it's just gorgeous. And the best part about it was free. So I love free stuff. No. So I will catch you guys all tomorrow. See you soon. Thank you for crafting with Nani. Have a great day. See you on everybody else's pages.